if you're the type of person that takes classes from people that you pay money to for those classes, and then when that person tells you to do something or shows you something, and you have a voice in your head that says, yeah, but I would do it this way. Or, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that because if he did that, I would do this. If you have that voice, quit. Quit. Go find another coach. If you're not going to believe what your coach is telling you, if you're not going to trust the techniques that they're showing you, because it's not the technique that doesn't work, right? I could tell you how to play a piano. Doesn't mean you can play it. Because you have an obligation in this relationship too. Your obligation to me is to actually practice, right? Because you don't get good at anything without that. So, the reason I said that is, how many people in this room have seen an Americana arm lock before? Raise your hand. Perfect. I promise you that I will show you how to do it better, okay? And I will also show you how to defend it, and I will show you why it cannot be applied when you're in my closed guard, but it can be applied very effectively from the mount position that Matt taught, right? We didn't do any cross sides this weekend, but all of you guys know cross sides. It works really well from there, okay? But it doesn't work when you're inside my closed guard because I have control of your hips, not the other way around. And it's the exact same movement I did with Philippe before. Okay? So let's first look at why it doesn't work when you're in my guard. And believe me, people will try to do this to you. I didn't think so because I couldn't imagine what academy or coach would never do this. Tell a student to do this, but they do exist because I go to tournaments and I have coaches on the sideline coaching against my kids, telling them to do it. I can't tell you how many times I've had referees come up to me after tournaments because if one of my kids gets caught trying to apply submission while they're in the guard, they get scolded from the sideline. Even if they could finish it, they get scolded. They get told to stop what they're doing until they pass the guard. And then those referees are like, man, I'm so glad you tell the kids that because there's so many other people telling them to do the opposite. Okay? So this does happen. I don't care. So check it out. Put it on. Damn. Right? Okay? He got me. Just like he might get me with this. Got me. Right? But look at, here's why it doesn't work inside the guard. So he puts this on. Now, right now, if I do nothing, he can put this lock on, and believe me, my shoulders are garbage. So I tap early to this one. But here's why he can't, because of this movement. See what I do with my hips down here? I'll go soft, just hold it loose. Okay? Now see this? My hips? I need to get the tip of my elbow to my ribs. Right? So I go, I'm going to just show them slow motion. So I go like this. And I pull my elbow in. And now it's gone. And now I get to say, hey, that's not jiu-jitsu, and now I have to punish you for that. Right? Okay. One more time. So look, they're here. If you do nothing, you will get submitted. You will get yelled at by me. I'll feel bad about myself, okay, and nobody wins. Here, I push and turn my elbow back to my ribs. Look where his arm is. I could go here too. Remember what Carl said about the arms? In both cases, he ended up with the arms on this side. Okay? I could go here. I can hip out. I can attack the back. Whatever you guys want. Very simple. The lock's here. In order for me to stop this from working, I have to get this to this way. Okay? It doesn't matter what level you're at. Like, Bill's a good brown belt. Like, he's over here asking me really good questions about really simple stuff. Right? Did you just learn something just now? Yeah. Something good, right? Because I was talking to my coach about this because about 6 or 7 years ago when I first got my black belt, we took a trip to Sweden together, and I taught a whole section on closed guard, hip bump sweeps and counters off of that, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, I was talking about the posture and then about the pressures because that's really where we spend a lot of our time, okay? And at the time I was like, okay, so we got airplane, side crunches. We got pull, bringing your knees to your chest. And we got sit up, bringing your chest to your knees, which is really accomplishing the same thing. But then I was telling him today or yesterday that I thought that there's a fourth pressure, right? Which is extending, like pushing, right? And he said, yeah, but it's kind of the same. Like pulling, pushing, it's definitely related, right? But that's what I was talking to Bill about. Like, you can elicit really good responses from people by pushing on them, right? You can elicit really good responses from people by pulling on them. And then when you use those two pressures together, you get some really impressive results because now I've got you going that way and you want to come this way, and then when I actually help you come that way, we're working together, right? We're working together, and the results are huge. And it's the same thing Frankel does when you're trying to take him somewhere. He doesn't resist, right? He just goes along for the ride and goes a little bit further, which is another way of using those same types of pressures. So my point in that is if you're a good student and if you don't have that voice in your head saying, yeah, I already know this, or I wouldn't do that, or whatever, then you're going to learn. And if you do have that voice, then probably not. Okay? Now, I told you I would show you how to do the Americana right as a bonus. Okay? Maybe some of you guys are already doing this. I didn't learn this until I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 15 years. Okay? And it's awesome. And I teach it to the kids in my kids program. And it crushes at tournaments because it's a simple lock to get, right? But they don't do it inside the guard. Who teaches it this way? You pin their wrist and you kiss their tricep with your bicep. Who teaches it that way? Any of you guys? You better now. How's it feel, Philippe?
Great.
You're going to tap already, huh?
Close.
You know why that's better? Connection. When I said kiss his tricep with your bicep, right? That's a pretty good, I like to kiss. That's a good connection. Okay?
Kiss the tricep with your bicep. Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Say that again.
It's a rider downer. Okay? Kiss their tricep with your bicep. I tell the kids, I say punch through until you can't punch anymore. So you have a good connection. Because this is not a good connection. Because his counter to this move is to do what? Pull your elbow to your ribs. Go ahead.
My elbow to my ribs?
Yeah. Yeah. Just bring that in. Yeah. See? There's a hole right here. Now do the same thing. Right? You guys see the difference? And the other thing is, you don't have to grab. Like if you do it this way, look, I'm not going like this. I'm not squeezing. Just this. I'm not grabbing anything. Just move that back. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes.